Hello everybody, it's Alison from Engli-teach. Today we are going to have a closer look at IELTS listening, and you are going to learn some tips and you are also going to practice. If you stay to the end of this video, I will also give you a special way that you can get a better score in your IELTS listening test. Coming right up. So for those of you that don't know, IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. That's what it is for, and it is used to determine what level of English and what capability of English a student has. IELTS is also used so that you can gain access to UK universities, or English-speaking universities I should say, or if you want a certain level of English to apply for jobs. When you study IELTS English, you can choose to take the general pathway or the academic pathway. Therefore, it's important that you study the right lessons for the right pathways. They are similar, but at the same time, they are different. So today we are going to look at plurals in IELTS. Plurals. And plurals are a big part of the IELTS listening test. So it's important to get it right. And remember that in IELTS there are no half marks. You either get it right or you get it wrong. An example, here is the word pen, pen. If you write the word pen, but in actual fact it should be pens, you would get this wrong. You need to write the correct word with the plural, which here would be S. So before we go into our practice IELTS listening test, let's have a look at what you could be doing every day to help yourself. So you must practice listening. I see lots of people in IELTS groups on social media looking for past papers to practice their reading and their writing, but very few asking for the listening. And listening and speaking is a very big part of the IELTS test. You do need to practice it. And to do that, it is best to determine a daily routine. So do it every day at a certain time of day. And I often find in the morning and last thing at night works very well when you are learning another language. This is what I did when I was learning French and German. Now, you need to read and understand the instructions carefully for the questions. That's very important because in the listening test, there are different types of answers. You need to understand which ones you need to answer and think about how you're going to answer them. And lastly, I'm going to give you some review answers and tips in this listening practice. But before you start listening, know that when you are listening to the recording, which you're going to hear shortly, you can make notes with a pen and paper, and you can do the same in the IELTS listening test. So you can make notes whilst you are listening. Very important. So go grab a pen and a piece of paper and come straight back. I'll be waiting. Great. I hope you have your pen and your paper ready and you're ready to learn some English with me. Now, on the board here, I have got three questions, okay? And you are going to have to put in the answers after you have listened to the extract that you are about to hear. Okay, let's get ready. Start. You will hear an extract from a talk given to a group who are going to stay in the UK. Listen carefully. It starts now. Good evening and welcome to the British Council. My name is John Parker and I've been asked to talk to you briefly about certain aspects of life in the UK before you actually go there. So I'm going to talk first about the best ways of making social contacts there. Now, you might be wondering why it should be necessary. After all, we meet people all the time, but when you're living in a foreign country, it can be more difficult, not just because of the language, but because customs may be different. If you're going to work in the UK, you will probably be living in private accommodation, so it won't be quite so easy to meet people. But there are still things that you can do to help yourself. First of all, you can get involved in activities in your local community, join a group of some kind. For example, you'll probably find that there are theatre groups who might be looking for actors, set designers, and so on. Or, if you play an instrument, you could join music groups in your area. Or, if you like the idea of finding out about local history, there'll be a group for that too. These are just examples, and the best places to get information about things like this are either the town hall or the public library. Libraries in the UK perform quite a broad range of functions nowadays. They're not just confined to lending books, although that's their main role, of course. Great! So that was the recording, obviously narrated by myself, Grace of the IELTS Library. Now we're going to look at the answers, okay? So we're going to go to the first one here. And the question is, what two factors? Great. So now we're going to look at the answers. We're going to start with the questions. Great. So now we're going to have a look at the questions. The first one is, what two factors can make social contact in a foreign country difficult? What two factors can make social contact in a foreign country difficult? The first one is language, and the second one is customs. Customs. This is your first plural, customs. Okay, let's move on to question number 2. Which types of community group does the speaker give examples of? Which types of community group does the speaker give examples of? And note here, we have a plural in the question. So what should the answer be? Let's have a look. So hopefully you have written down music groups, plural, and local history groups, okay? Music groups and local history groups. Now let's move on to the third question. In which two places can information about community activities be found? In which two places can information about community activities be found? Okay, so hopefully you have written down libraries and town halls. Libraries and town halls. And I am just going to write down the singular version of libraries. So this is the plural, libraries, and this is the singular version. So I hoped that helped you. If you want to take a further quiz on this and actually have the transcript of what was said, then go along to Engli-teach.com and open up your free access account where you can start learning English for free. My name is Alison. I am an English teacher and it was lovely teaching you today. Speak to you again soon. Thank you and goodbye.